Alright guys, let's talk about products. Now, before I get right into this, I want to preface this by saying if you do not have an e-commerce package to your website or you're not selling any products on your website, this particular video series might be informative, but it's not going to be helpful to what you're doing with your website. If you do have the e-commerce package and you are selling products, then this is perfect for you. So I just want to make sure that I'm clear on that, so nobody wastes time, watching videos that don't pertain to their particular website if they choose not to. So in this case, what we have is in the products page. This is showing some of the products that are already available on this particular site. And this is where it's going to display the products that you've added to your site once you add them. So what we want to do to make sure we add one, and you will have some here if we built the site for you, because we will have put in the products that you care most about. But if you need to add another one, that's what we're going to focus on, and we're going to click Add Product right here. And that's going to take us over to a page that looks semi-familiar, right? Just like the rich text page video where we went over the title, the status, publish timings, and how to add content and all of these little things. You're going to do the same thing here, and this is all the information about the product. From here, you're going to select a category, and here you can just go ahead and, if we want shop, we'll double-click that. If we want to double-click, a different category there, we can categorize it however we want. Wherever the product fits, you have a category for it there. The next thing that we want to do is the metadata here. This is identical to what we talked about in the rich text video as well, so you can just leave that as is or edit it per those instructions. But the big thing is you want an image for your product, right? So if you click here, you can do the same thing. It's going to pull up your media library, and it's going to give you access to all the images. If you need to upload a new image, you can upload a new image here, and that's going to populate that for the product specifically. Now, a lot of times you want to have more than one image for the product, so maybe a side view image and a front view image and maybe an image of the label or something that gives some other details. You can add as many images as you want here, and you just keep selecting them, one for each line, and you can add a little description about that image as well. Then you come down to content variations. So this will be your SKU. So we can put SKU in here. If you have a default SKU, you can just click the default. Number of items in stock, the unit price, the sale price. You can start the sale price at a certain time and end it at another time. And then you can also associate an image with this particular SKU, which is kind of cool. So you can kind of pick your the image that you want to display with this variation. So when you're doing all this, it's important to know that if you don't put anything in here, it just won't engage these things. But if you do put something in there, that's what's going to display. So if we put in a $40 unit price and there's 12 of them in stock, that's all going to display out on the main page. And then you can create new variations of it as well. So select all the required variation options and then select Save to continue editing below. At this point, when you get a site from us, you're probably going to have most of the variations put in there. You may not always, but and generally you should. And what you're going to do is just select the other ones that apply to this new product. So if all of these different colors were to apply to the new product we're putting in, and we've got all these categories laid out for you, you just select those. You have everything done there. You click Save, and that's going to be adding your product. Now, when you're done with that, you're actually going to see your product out here on the main products page. And I'll go into one of these that's done just so you can kind of see all of the stuff. So we've got our title, available for purchase, yes. Publish date, here's your content. You see they used a table in order to show the different variation options of that particular product. They've got their category associated. Here's your couple different images, right? And now here's the different variations, right? So you can add your SKU, You can, for the SKU for each one of those, the default SKU is, the particular one, unit price, and then they just selected an image to go with the actual variation like we showed there. And if we wanted to create a new variation, we certainly could add these things together and click save, and we'd have this new variation to deal with as well. So that is the creating a product section.